Here's this top secret location in this mountain range, and of course the camera does not pick up the height of these mountains out here. But I tell you what, walking up this wash, man, it really makes you feel like just a tiny little ant up here. But let me get over here. Let me find my little hot spot and I'll be back. So here in this wash, back across that mountain range there, there's some old placer claims that have been closed. There's another one back over there. I think that was a lode claim that's been closed also. This is highly granitic all through here. You know, my little hot spot here, and I have found some gold in these black sands before, and we are, believe it or not, you can't really see it, but this is an inside bend. This is on the tail end of the inside bend before it goes down the rest of the wash. And there's just a very high concentrated deposit right here. It doesn't look like there's a lot of black sands here. Of course, wind and whatever has blown some of this in here that's covered it. But this is just one huge patch of nothing but black sands. There's another good vein right there. So I'm gonna take a bunch of this home, make pay dirt bags of it, and then the remainder of it, it's gonna be way too hard to pan this much material. I'll probably end up getting 3 or 4 gallons of this black sand, which is super heavy. Take it home, I'll classify it all down. This is gonna be nothing but tiny little flea poop gold. It'll be too much to run in the sluice. It'll just fill up all the cells. I'll probably throw all of this stuff on the VDR, turn it into concentrates with that. So we'll see what kind of gold values we get out of there. For now, guys, I'm gonna get to work. I'll put this camera up so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Just gonna be shoveling the material in a bucket. And then when I'm all done, I'll see you guys at my house. Look at that shovel. I mean, it's just basically pretty much all black sands. That one had a little bit of fluff in it, but yeah, so this is the New Mexico good stuff. So I got home, guys. This is already like a week and a half later. I've been going to town on this material. I classified it all out. It has been quite the chore getting that magnetite out. Let me walk on over here and show you what I got going on. So for a few days, I've been loading up this mining magnet, dry magnetic separator, but the bucket's almost empty. Shoot, trying to carry this bucket out of there that day, man, it cracked all the way up. It's cracked over here. It was just too heavy for that. But there's the mining magnets. It's dropping non-magnetics here, magnetics there. It's a great little unit. Does a good job. Just takes a while. But here's what I fetched. This is a 2.5 gallon bucket. So I ended up with 2.5 gallons of magnetite from that spot, and plan here is at some point or another I'm going to end up making pay dirt bags out of that, and these are going to be some real son of a bucks. So be on the lookout for this stuff in the future. But guys, once I get all of this complete, I'm going to set up the VDR, see if there's any kind of gold in there. If I'm not finding anything in the beginning, then I'm just going to abort the project. But I'll be back here in a little bit when I get that sluice all set up. All right, so got the sluice on. I need to go through here and just double check, make sure I don't have any air bubbles trapped. I'm gonna run 2 of these. These are 16-ounce containers. So I'm gonna run 2 of these, get these wet, start digesting them in here, and we will see if we get any gold out of here. So, like I said before, I'll go through here with this toothbrush and just kind of wash everything out. Sometimes the bubbles can be a little bit hard to see. The old junky toothbrush does a pretty good job. So I'll be back here in a sec. So we'll start dropping in some of this nice and slow. See if we find any of that shiny stuff starting to show up. See if this black sands are worth a darn. Kind of doing a little different camera setup today, as you guys can tell. It's a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see how it goes. This big drop riffle here, you know, you don't want to see it totally full, but this one over here is half full, half full, half full. That's kind of what I like to see. This one's starting to clean itself out some, so then you'll go and drop in another, another spoon. And they'll get totally full again, just like that there. Just kind of let that sit for a minute or two. Now, of course, if the gold went over that because it was full, this one's always seeming to be half. Probably throw this on fast forward, guys. Really don't know what I'll do on this one, but I'll be back here after a little while, after I get a couple of these ran, and then we'll get her panned out and see if we find any gold in here. All right, guys, first container down. I am not seeing anything up in here. I kind of do see a tiny little speck right over in here. Camera's not really picking it up. Shoot, I'm not even so sure that it's even gold, but let's walk on down this sluice and see what else. So everything seems to be exchanging pretty good. I'm gonna let this thing run for a little while. Sorry, it's super hard to see, I'm sure. I don't know how that flashlight's actually helping out here, but had a phone call, so I had to get off of here, but this is pretty cleaned out. I like what I'm seeing here. Kind of off a little bit maybe, but I don't know, my water flow pattern down here on the bottom looks perfect. So let me get to running another one of these cups, guys, and we'll do a clean out. So guys, that's what I got out of that sluice. I'm gonna start panning this stuff back, see if we find anything in here, and I actually think that I did see a couple little pieces. It was very hard to tell. The lighting was somewhat of a challenge on this one. It still kind of is in here, but let me get this stuff panned out, guys. I'll throw it on fast forward, enjoy the jams. This one's gonna probably take me a while, but I'll be back here after a while. There is a tiny little piece there. That is a pretty small little piece. That tells me I probably lost some back here. Let me finish this up, guys, and got that finished up. I see 3 tiny little pieces in here. There's probably more back here. Let me go through. I'm going to turn the camera off here. I'm going to take my time, clean this up, and then we'll see if I can even get this stuff on the microscope here in a sec, guys. I'll be back. Alrighty, so back to the old microscope. I found that one little piece. And I'll tell you what, this stuff here, guys, was a total pain in the ass trying to get all this pan down, try to find and brush all this together. There's the second piece. Now, that one doesn't look too bad. That's a pretty good sized piece, actually. But you guys might be wondering about why in the hell would I even be so excited about running this stuff and putting it through the magnetic separator, and why the hell would you run this in that when that's supposed to remove all the gold? Well, that's part of the test here, is to just see exactly if the magnetic separator did lose some of the gold. I can say that this looks pretty good, but there's that third piece, and it is a tiny little piece. So that is not bad. 32 ounces of material. I bet you if I looked even harder, I'd find maybe some smaller pieces, but that is not too bad. That is not a bad gold recovery. That's a good piece of equipment. I'm always a little bit skeptical on stuff like this. You know, you just don't really know how it's gonna work. One thing I know for sure, though, is I'll be headed back over there to that canyon to get me some more buckets so I can just run the regular material. Guys, you take care out there. Smash out that subscribe button if you would. Gold Pen and Suntan is out.